All right, good afternoon. The Memphis and Shelby County Board of Adjustment is hereby called to order for its regularly scheduled meeting of March 25th, 2026. My name is Tim Rainey. I'm chairman of the board. Mr. Jeffrey Penzis serves as secretary of the board. Mr. Penzis, may I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Bruce.
Present.
Mr. Claybrook.
Here.
Ms. Conrad.
Here.
Mr. Love.
Here.
Vice Chair Savage Selden.
Present.
And Chair Rainey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. The Memphis and Shelby County Board of Adjustment is the oldest appointed governmental body in Memphis and Shelby County. We were established in 1925. The board hears appeals from the administration of the zoning ordinance, requests for variances from the zoning ordinance, and other requests articulated by local zoning laws adopted pursuant to the enabling legislation. The 8 members of the board are appointed, 4 by the mayor of Memphis and 4 by the mayor of Shelby County, with confirmation by the Memphis City Council or the Shelby County Board of Commissioners. We serve without remuneration. At this point, I'd like to swear in the staff. May remain seated. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. May I get a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Secretary, if we please give us a secretary's report if there is one this month, and then explain the procedure for today's meeting.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. As for a secretary's report, there are no announcements this afternoon. The procedures for this meeting will be as follows. I will introduce each case as listed on the agenda. Copies of the agenda can be found on the front podium. For each case, the planner with the Division of Planning and Development will give a presentation. At the conclusion of the staff presentation, the applicant will have 5 minutes to present his or her case. After the applicant's presentation, those speakers in support will have a total of 5 minutes, then those speakers in opposition will have a total of 10 minutes, and then finally the applicant will have 2 minutes to provide rebuttal. These times do not include time for questions from and answers to members of the board. The chairman may provide additional time, provided both sides are given an equal amount of additional time. All parties who wish to provide testimony to the board will be sworn in by the chairman. If a member of the audience wishes to provide testimony in support of or in opposition to a particular case on today's agenda, he or she will need to fill out a speaker's card for the record. Speaker's cards are available at the front podium. Once filled out, speaker's cards can be submitted to any DPD staff member at the left podium. We do not need speaker's cards from the applicants since their names are already part of the record. After all parties have been heard, the board will close the public hearing, make a motion, and then deliberate on the case. If the applicant or any speaker would like to be heard after the conclusion of the public hearing, or if a board member wishes to hear additional testimony from any party, a 2/3 vote is required to reopen the public hearing pursuant to the board's rules of procedure. Please note that once the public hearing is reopened, both the applicant and opposition will be allowed to provide additional testimony and or rebuttal. All motions by this board will be made in the affirmative. The private acts governing the board require the affirmative vote of at least 5 members to approve the application, regardless of the number of board members present. The board may also vote to hold an application for a period not to exceed 3 months with the consent of the applicant or 1 month without the consent of the applicant. All section numbers referred to come from the Memphis and Shelby County Unified. The board is vested with the power to act on these cases before us today under the provisions of Chapter 9.22 of the UDC. Mr. Chairman, I submit that all cases have been filed in proper order, all applicants have been notified of this hearing, and all notice requirements have been fulfilled as required by the UDC.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. At this point, the board will establish a consent agenda. To establish the consent agenda, the Secretary will call out each eligible case. If any member of the audience, staff, or a board member objects to the case being placed on the consent agenda, he or she should do so by a show of hands when the Secretary reads that case. Once the consent agenda is established, the board will vote on all cases placed on the consent agenda as a whole, will not hold individual public hearings on each of those cases. Mr. Secretary, which of our items on our agenda are eligible to be placed on the consent agenda this month?
Item number 1, BOA 2025-127 at 3141 Ferris View Road as a hold for 1 month. Item number 3, BOA 2025-140 at 2033 Young Avenue as approval with conditions. Item number 4, BOA 2025-144 at 7782 Armour Road as a hold for 1 month. Item number 5, BOA 2025-146 at 3240 Thomas Street as a hold for 1 month. Item number 6, BOA 2025-145 at 2680 Mount Moriah Road as approval with conditions. And finally, item number 8, BOA 2026-12 at 2121 Channel Avenue as approval with conditions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. If we could get a motion to approve the consent agenda as established by the Secretary, which is item 1 as a hold, 3 approval with conditions, 4 and 5 as a hold, and 6 and 8 approval with conditions.
So moved. Second.
Moved and second. I want to remind the board that by voting on the consent agenda, he or she affirms that he or she has read the staff report and is in full agreement with the conditions. Mr. Secretary, may I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Bruce,
Yes.
Mr. Claybrook,
Yes.
Ms. Con,
Yes.
Mr. Love,
Yes.
Vice Chair Savage Selden.
Yes, I find that the standards of the UDC of 9.22.6 are being met and will not be unduly detrimental to the properties in the vicinity.
And Chair Rainey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. So if you're here for items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8, you've either been held or approved as requested. Mr. Secretary, will you call the first case we need to hear today?
Item number 2, BOA 2025-136 at 2319 Cardigan Drive.
All right, is the applicant here on Cardigan Drive? All right, if you want to go ahead and take a seat down front, and then we could get a staff report real quick from Mr. Colbert. And is there any opposition here for this case? I don't think so. Okay. All right, go ahead.
One moment, please. All right, thank you, Board. I'm presenting today on BOA 2025-0136, located at 2319 Cardigan Drive with applicant Kenneth Miller. This is regarding a previously built circular driveway and parking pad in the front yard of the residence. So he's requesting a variance from subsection 4.4.4B to allow a circular driveway with less than 50 feet between access points. Item 4.5.21D to allow a parking pad setback less than 50 feet from the right-of-way. And item 4.5.21E to allow a circular driveway with less than 50 feet between access points and where the minimum interior vertex is less than 50 feet from the right-of-way. A little bit of background. As you can see there, there's a couple pictures. Those are coming from codes enforcement. And so in September of 2025, the applicant installed unpermitted and non-conforming front yard parking pads in a circular driveway with 2 curb cuts less than 50 feet apart. And October 14th, there was a citation issued. This was originally supposed to be heard in January. The ice storm pushed that. February, we held it, and so we were hearing it today. A little bit of location info. He's located in the Marlboro Estate subdivision. And if you can, to the right, you can see that there were 123 notices mailed out in January. There were 2 letters of opposition received, both of which came from the same address, which is the parcel due north. Zoning map is zoned R10, just like the entire subdivision. And a subdivision does have a land use policy of single family. These are the zoning enforcement photos from September and October of last year. Notice the one on the left, you can kind of see how it looks like it's about 80% finished. And when codes were called and they came out, took pictures, and they did inform the contractors that this was not permitted. They went back out on the 14th of October, as you can see in the middle picture showing the parking pad obscured by the mailbox. And then on the far right, another picture from October 27th showing the entire project. These are some site photos taken from Google Street View. If you notice on the left-hand image behind the trash bags of leaves, you can see that there's no real grass issues between the 2 driveways. But if you look on the right, as circled in red, you do see that After the applicant purchased the home or moved into the home, his vehicle is causing some issues pulling into the grass there. Here's a survey. I did highlight the newest edition of why we're here today, showing the parking pad and the circular driveway. This is the site plan is submitted, which is the same survey. He does note that there's some issues with the driveway bordering the neighbor's lot line. He does express intent to potentially demolish the garage, and he does show the new curved parking pad and driveway. So our conclusions, this subdivision, Marlboro Estates, is characterized by curved streets, cul-de-sacs, and irregular lot configurations. While it is located on a cul-de-sac, the condition is not uncommon within the subdivision and does not constitute an extraordinary or exceptional physical condition. The applicant does have an admitted practice of driving over the adjacent grass, as shown in that previous picture from Google Street View. The survey does confirm that the driveway doesn't seem to cross the line. I think that is a little bit of a gray area. It's very, very close, if not right on the line. If it does go over, it's pretty minimal. Aerial imagery does confirm that the lot configuration has existed since at least 1981 without issue. And to remedy the issues he's having with the driveway, he did install the parking pad and the curved driveway. It's staff's belief that this will cause detriment to the public good and not be in Congress with the United Development Code, interest to the neighborhood, and the general welfare of the community. Additionally, we don't believe there's any hardship or practical difficulty presented by the applicant. Thus, our recommendation is rejection. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. The applicant will come forward. If you'll give your name and address for the record.
This is Kenneth Miller for 2319 Cardigan Drive,
Okay.
Memphis, Tennessee.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and share with us.
Who can I present this to?
You can hand it to them and they'll pass it out. Yeah.
Good afternoon. We purchased this property about a year and a half ago with the intent of making improvements to our property as we moved in. We love our home. We worked with the contractor knowing that we had some issues with our driveway and with the neighbors. Once we did a survey, we found out that to their initial comments that they made when we first moved in about the driveway being on the property and the driveway was built, it was an addition, it was an issue. When we did the survey is when things really got out of hand because they realized that they were partially right. We decided to build a circular driveway, which we spoke to them about, to eliminate some of their concerns and also give us more parking space. I've given you guys a printout of approval from the local board meeting that I recently attended from all members that attended there. Jerry Green was also there. Everyone in attendance has no issue with it. I also went around the neighborhood and got the local neighbors to also sign off on the last page. Originally, this was done with good intent. We did not know we were violating any codes. We paid $12,000 to a contractor. This is a real contractor, so we thought. Unfortunately, he didn't do his due diligence, which brought us here today. So we're requesting a variance to continue to deal with to alleviate the hardship of parking on the street, which is an issue. The side turn of the home, once you actually drive on it, is really hard to make that turn as it's a brick home and it's a sharp turn. So it's really difficult to make, which pushes me sometimes into the driveway of my neighbors. I have a couple vehicles that have backup cameras. Not all of them do. It's very difficult to make that turn every day, constantly. So this alleviates a lot of those issues. I've also noted that the police were called multiple times from the same neighbor on us for people parking on the street, and their complaint is that they're blocking their driveway. So this also eliminates some of those concerns. Overall, I don't feel it's detrimental to the public good. All my neighbors have pretty much signed off except for one. They are to the north. The neighbor to the south that I've actually extended the driveway towards is signed off on the paperwork. They're totally fine with it. They love it. It's a circular driveway. It's in a cul-de-sac. It solves a lot of problems for us. Obviously, our money's being spent without getting prior approval is on us. I understand that. But it was expensive, and we did it in the interest and the good of the neighborhood. So I did do my due diligence to check with the neighbors post, and I don't see any issues with it. And so I just wanted to present that to you. Let me check one more of my notes, and I'll stop talking. We own multiple vehicles. Plan to add probably another vehicle this year. My daughter turned 16. And so it's a lot easier for us. I love my driveway. It makes it a lot easier to get in and out of that subdivision. So I just present that case before you guys. And the goodness of the neighborhood, I think it adds value. It adds value to our home. Our neighbors love it. And it's not an issue for 99% of the people in that neighborhood, as I presented. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions for Mr. Miller? All right, thank you very much. And again, there's no one here in opposition to this case. Okay. If we could get a motion to approve BOA 2025-136 as conditioned by staff.
So moved.
All right, any thoughts?
It's interesting that the letters in opposition contradict a lot of what's been said.
Mm-hmm.
So but they're not here to defend them. So
yeah, it's not good that the one person that opposes it is the next door neighbor.
it's not.
I'm trying to find a hardship. Can anybody come up with one?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Miller mentioned some challenges in making a turn, getting into his driveway as it was originally configured.
Mm-hmm.
Can we ask him to explain that or kind of show us what he was talking about in regards to that?
We would need to vote to reopen testimony.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can do that. We don't have any opposition. It probably wouldn't take long. So, do we have anybody that doesn't want to let him answer that question? Okay, so if you'll come and explain to Mr. Love and the board your challenges with the curved driveway.
Yeah, I appreciate that. From the picture, it's kind of hard to tell, and it's a little deceiving. The cut of the angle of the driveway is very sharp.
Hold on, yeah. I think staff can maybe put up a little visual.
Do you want the photographs?
Probably wants
street
the
view?
photo of the house, probably be a little bit easier. So on the left side, when we're looking at the picture on the left, you see the corner of the home. Coming out of that driveway, we usually have to pull out of it's a double garage, but depending on where you're parked, you have to come out, pull back up, reset to try to get in the middle of the driveway just to try to make that curve because of how sharp the house comes towards the driveway. And so I'm not making this up. You can see I'm not trying to drive in our grass there. It is very difficult to turn and to make that driveway. Even with a backup camera, it's difficult. Just in the size of our vehicles these days, compared to 1980 when that was built, it's a lot different. And so as the evidence there, so it could be my bad driving, but it is difficult. It's a hassle every day to pull out of there. And so that's why we made the decision to try to go a different route and do the right thing here by using a real contractor. Just if I can respond, I know you guys said something about the neighbor. In the front of the picture that I submitted to you guys can see that there's a manger for Christmas. And we spent some money to do a manger scene, because that's important to us. The neighbor called the city on us to say that we had an improper roof structure for baby Jesus. No matter what I submit or what I do to my home, they're going to complain because they don't like me. It's personal. It has nothing to do with the driveway. They were the same individuals that called the police, said because of parking issues. So this solves that issue for them. This is an issue personal. It has nothing to do with the complaint of the actual code. It has to do with me as a person. And so it's unfortunate. I just thought it would be wise to mention that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to bring board's attention to the shape of the lot and the narrowness of the frontage. Looking at some other lots surrounding, it looks like the subject property and the property that's immediately to the north are considerably more narrow than what's around it. And I can see if a car is trying to, is exiting in reverse motion, I can see that being a challenge without pulling onto the neighbor's drive, since that driveway is pushed all the way over to the property line to the just pointing that out.
Sure. Other thoughts? It's a lot of concrete. Mm-hmm. Would it make a difference to kind of have the baby a little bit if we got rid of the, where it's a circular drive, but not that additional parking pad that's taken up, another good bit of property instead of it being grass and looking more like a front yard as opposed to a parking lot?
So, I guess I'm on page number 9, I guess, trying to help with, so you're saying get rid of.
Yeah, where that black and silver SUV is on the left.
Okay.
And you can see it like up here on the thing. It's that additional little spot going up I guess that would be the south side of the house. Yeah, the head of the horse.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay. I think we just need more green space. I think, to Mr. Love's explanation that it is narrow, it is cut, and they're having the curve, and they do have the drainage that's there as well. I think I can vote if they get rid of that
Yeah.
little piece of
That
the.
still leaves a lot of room for cars to be parked around there.
Correct. I agree.
Okay. So would y'all want to add a condition that the driveway, that only a circular driveway be allowed, and that the concrete pad to the southern side of the house be removed, with that being approved by the zoning administrator?
Correct.
So get a new site plan on that.
So is the plan to keep the existing driveway and garage in place? Did you speak to that? Or would that go away?
Did the staff mention something about getting rid of that?
There was a proposal.
A proposal to possibly do that?
He mentioned it in here. There wasn't a lot of other discussion about that. I think again, it's a potential move in the future, but I don't know if he's made any concrete plans to do that yet. Obviously, I think he's been a little tied up with this first.
People often don't get rid of garages, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
but if the garage is still there, just a thought.
Yeah,
If the garage is still there, you still got the same problem.
You do, you do.
that you had before.
Understood. I'm trying to look for a compromise solution based on the lot, not having a lot. Yeah, that is a tough corner to make to even get back there. So having several cars back there is not going to be very viable.
But I think leaving the circular part of the garage is still giving them ample parking.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not giving them that extra concrete pad to
Right.
the south of the house. And that frees up some of the green space, I would think,
Yeah.
to kind of give it more of the,
Well, the issue is, again, I'm not making an argument for it, but from the, trying to understand it from the neighbor's perspective, you know, there's still gonna be the risk of driving on that grass that's there, on the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
So we're allowing a circular driveway, but the problem that existed before is still there. 'Cause I assume that you're gonna park in the garage sometimes.
True, but the neighbors in the letters aren't complaining about that. They don't bring it up as an issue.
They only bring up the parking pad.
Mhm.
And that's, I mean, if they did bring it up, it would, I guess in their minds, it might run counter to what they're trying to argue. They're trying to argue against the pad, which means they would have to use the driveway, so they wouldn't have, probably wouldn't have brought that up.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not a problem.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you have multiple cars in a cove, it gets tough because you just have so many inlets and not a lot of room to get cars on the street if you don't have the driveway parking. Yeah, any other thoughts before we vote? Okay, I assume you're ready to vote. So, Mr. Secretary, will you give us a roll call, please? This will be the
But
motion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Yeah, I'm still trying to, 'cause I'm trying to rationalize voting for it, but because the purpose of the circular driveway is to solve a problem, but it still seems to me that it doesn't solve the problem. I mean, that other driveway is still there. You've still got to, you know, I know the applicant now has an option, but that other, the other choice of driving down the driveway with the curve and parking in the garage is still there. I suspect that he'll probably be doing that anyway because there's a garage there, that the cars will be covered there. So it does, we're doing something that's not eliminating a problem, it's not solving a problem. We're allowing more concrete on the front yard, a violation of the code, but not solving a problem. I'm trying to,
Yeah. Trying to get there.
yeah.
Yeah, if you can. I hear what you're saying.
He has a 16-year-old driver. It's going to be hard anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
But at the same time, I don't want to recommend that we cut off the driveway. I mean, there is a garage back there, and I'd hate for them to not be able to use it at all.
Right.
So it's just a,
It's a cluster.
I would say per the applicant's site plan, he already claims that he's unable to use it, the garage.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. I think that garage is usable. It's harder to use if you had like two Suburbans trying to be parked next to each other and do that, but you know, my garage, I have to have a 1-lane into a 2-lane garage, and it's only about 8 feet that I have to make that turn to get out of my gate. And that's a lot more room than what I have. But I have a small car.
all right, so we are going to add a condition. I mean, if we approve it, we're going to add a condition that other parking pad be removed.
Yeah, basically you'd continue the curve and make it a true circular driveway without a pad.
So in essence, we're allowing the 4.44B circular driveway and removing the parking pad and access less than 50 feet, right?
I think so, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Y'all ready to vote?
It's a tough one.
It is, it
Yes,
really
we gotta
is.
vote.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Secretary, if you'll give us a roll call, please.
Mr. Bruce,
Yes, with the condition that the pad be removed, parking pad be removed.
Ms. Conrad,
Yes.
Mr. Love,
Yes.
Mr. Claybrook. Yes. Vice Chair Savage Selden.
Yes, I find that the standards of the EDC of 9.22.6 are being met and will not be unduly detrimental to the properties in the vicinity.
And Chair Rainey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, so approval with the condition. Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, if you'll call our next case.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Item number 7, BOA 2026-9 at 4311 Faro Drive.
Good afternoon. I don't see the applicant here, so I believe we need to hold it for next month.
Okay, so if there's no applicant, then we will hold this. This is, which, was this 8? 9.
7.
Oh, wait, 7. We'll get there eventually.
The end number was 9.
Right, yeah, you're right. Okay. All those in favor of holding, or is there a motion to hold?
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that will be held as well. All right, if you'll call our last case.
Item number 9, BOA 2026-13 at 6901 Mount Moriah Extended.
Okay. All right, I think I see the applicant. Is there opposition on this case? Okay. So the applicant will come forward, and then if we can get a staff report, whenever you get ready, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, I don't want to do proper protocol, but I want to request a hold, please.
Okay. Do you have a problem with that, Ms. Cobb? Seeing none, does anybody on the board have a problem with the hold?